Sometimes I wonder, are we living in some kind of matrix or something? Because what the heck is going on? Apparently, AOC is running for president in 2028, and she's already raised $400 million. And apparently, Trump is trying to get a third term for real. Wait until you see this. Let's get right into it.
Idaho, I am so touched being here. I'm a girl from the Bronx. To be welcomed here in this state, all of us together, seeing our common cause, this is what this country is all about. Don't let them trick us into thinking we are enemies. Don't let them trick us into thinking we can be separated into rural and urban, black and white and Latino. We are one.
Alexandria, they told us this was a conservative state. They got it wrong.
And Idaho, I know that looking around here, it can feel impossible for Republicans out here to be defeated. That's not true. It's simply not true. And from the waitress who is now speaking to you today from this podium, I can tell you, impossible is nothing.
And as Alexandria just said, when we stand together, when we do not allow them to divide us up, there is no stopping us.
Miracles start with mustard seeds, and that is what each and every one of you represent today. Small miracles of faith in ourselves, in each other, and in the refusal to give up.
You cannot tell me that is not something for a presidential campaign. She's already in office. Why would she need to go around doing this if she wasn't running for president? Come on now. Come on now. And how come Latinos, when they, say a word that is a Spanish word, they always put the accent on it? They'll have a completely normal American accent or no accent at all. And then when it comes to one specific word, like how she said it, Latino, they get that accent. That always cracks me up. I love y'all. Shout out to my Hispanics out there. So that's AOC. She's for sure. I can almost guarantee you 100%. I'm going to say 99.9%. She's running for president in 2028. And I don't know how the heck she raised $400 million, but that is crazy. That makes me a little bit concerned. Sheesh, those are some big donors, whoever's doing that. Because what? 400 million? Now, let's get into Trump because he's ruffling some feathers, saying that he's going to do a third term, and he just released a hat saying Trump 2028. What?
Here it is. Eric Trump posing from his corner office here in Florida with the Trump 2028 hat. The Trump 2028 hat is, of course, officially available on the Trump store, and libs are losing their ever-loving minds. And there it is! Trump's now selling a Trump 2028 hat at the official store, even though it's unconstitutional! Trump's officially begun selling 2028 hats. Trump wants to be Putin. This item's description says, rewrite the rules with the Trump 2028 high crown hat. He doesn't even plan to leave office. You can't see it now. Let's go ahead and look at the actual link here, and we'll talk about how Trump...
Now, I'll continue playing this in just a second, but I do want to say Trump is, I think, 79 right now. He's either 78 or 79. He'll be 82 by the time his term is done. There's no way he's going to want to keep running for president and do a whole campaign at 82. I do think it's more likely that either Eric or Don Jr. would run, and maybe this is what they're doing, or Trump is just trolling the heck out of everyone. And he's going to make a ton of money off of selling these Trump 2028 hats. But I don't think that he's going to run actually in 2028. It just doesn't make sense. If he were to figure out how to do that, there would be a civil war, I think, in America. People would go absolutely nuts. I don't agree with it. I don't think anyone ever should be allowed to do 3 terms, no matter what. That is absolutely unacceptable. You got to follow the rules. No matter how much people like you, you can't do 3 terms, period. Now, if, Don Jr. or Eric Trump or somebody wants to run, Laura Trump, somebody, maybe that is a possibility of what could happen. But realistically, You think Trump would run for president at 82 years old? He might be feeling okay now, but by the time this presidency is over, dealing with all of the nonsense and judges blocking him and all the not the loopholes, but all the hardships he has to deal with just to get things passed, he's not going to be able to do that physically. That I think that's just impossible. I don't think anyone could physically be capable of running this country at 82 years old after dealing with all of this stress and nonsense. I don't think it's going to happen. But let's keep it going.
Could actually do this. So this is the hat itself. It is available for purchase. Make a statement with the Trump 2028 hat, fully embroidered, snap closure on the back, become your new go-to hat. And it's saying, well, maybe it's time, ladies and gentlemen, to rethink our Constitution. Okay, well, what does it mean exactly? Well, it's not just a fashion statement. There are many smart minds that are out saying, yeah, Donald Trump could technically run for a third term. I would argue that just on principle, Donald Trump had his first term stolen from him. They're doing their level-headed best to steal Donald Trump's third term. They stole his second one for sure. And then this would just be, I don't know, reparations, right? Anyway, the point is that these are, going fast. And there's a lot of energy out there to get Trump to potentially run for a third term. Here's what the smart minds say. The smart people say, well, what about Donald Trump just running as vice president for J.D. Vance? And then J.D. Vance decides to resign, and then Trump becomes president.
I don't think you can do that.
And that's just one way to do it. There's no limitations on the vice president in the Constitution. And the 22nd Amendment says that the president can only be elected twice. So, well, I mean, what about the vice president? Trump started selling a 2028 hat on his website.
That wouldn't even make any sense. If they were to do it that way, it would be better for Trump to just let J.D. Vance be the president, and then he could still call the shots from the vice president seat. But I just don't believe this is real. And the fact that Benny Johnson is going on here and entertaining this and making it seem like it could really happen, I think is ridiculous, to be honest. I 100% do not agree with this happening. Yes, I am a conservative. I fully support Trump doing his second term, but a third term is out of the question. And give J.D. Vance or Vivek Ramaswamy, Byron Donalds, give one of them a chance to run in 2028. It's for sure going to be AOC on the left, unless some new magic person comes out of nowhere. But AOC's already raised $400 million. The right will need a very strong candidate to run against her because people really like her. You know, it's the truth. How else are you going to raise $400 million? She's has packed stadiums everywhere. I didn't know Idaho was like that. I thought Idaho was more conservative. But maybe I was wrong. Maybe it is more like in Austin, Texas, or Denver, Colorado. You know, I need to take a trip up there and see what it's like up in Idaho to get a better perspective. But you guys drop a comment, let me know your thoughts. I don't think that Trump should be able to do a third term. And I think that he's just trolling everybody to raise more money. Or they could be fooling us all, and one of his sons could be willing to run for president in 2028, which I don't think either one of them have what it takes to do it. I'm just being real here. I would rather see one of them as vice president and J.D. Vance as president, or Byron Donalds or Vivek Ramaswamy. I really like Vivek. I really like Byron Donalds, and I really like J.D. Vance. They're all three great guys. They all stand on business. It seems like they all keeping it real, man. They're very, very intelligent guys, and I think they would all do a phenomenal job. Any sort of correlation with any of those three people being the president and vice president, I think, is the best shot against AOC and whoever she picks to be her vice president. There's no way Bernie Sanders is going to be able to be a vice president. Bernie Sanders is like 80 something years old or 80 years old. He needs to sit down too and retire. We need term limits on these Congress people, man. Bernie Sanders is too old to be out here doing this. Tax the rich. We need to tax the rich. Bro, you are rich. You are rich. How about we tax you? Y'all flying on private jets? You know what I'm saying? Drinking margaritas on the private jet? Come on now. But it was crazy, man. It feels like we're living in the Matrix or some sort of simulation. It's hard to know what to believe anymore. You really got to put on your discernment goggles to try to see through the BS out here. We live in a crazy time. Let's hope that Trump doesn't do a third term because that is ridiculous and would cause more turmoil than help. And the young guys deserve a chance. Absolutely, the young guys deserve a chance. Absolutely, they would do a phenomenal job. All the three guys I just mentioned would do a phenomenal job at president. I guarantee it. And AOC, she's coming with the heat, so we got to be prepared and be ready because they are not going to back down. And she might stand a chance. I don't know, but we'll see. We will see. Let's see if that face card will help her at all. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.